Okay, now we're ready to tie the head onto the top of the shell itself. So when you're fitting your head, you need to have the inside from edge to edge diameter of the head be approximately the same as the edge to edge diameter of the shell. You don't want the shell to be too small, and you don't want the head to be too big. If your head is too small, when you push down, you should be able to push down and feel the rim of the tabla on all sides at the same time. If you push down and it pops up from one side to the other, your head is too small. If when you have it on the head, you can move it from side to side for more than about 1/16 of an inch, your head is too big. So what you preferably want is something that squeezes down, sits on there, but has virtually no movement from side to side when you're pushing down on it. And that's the perfect fit of the head. Now we want to tie the head and the ring in place before we lace it up. So using the styrofoam to protect the gob, I take the center of my rope here, go over one time. You want to make sure this tie-on is nice and tight so it doesn't pop off during your lacing. Wrap it around there, crisscross over, back over the top. Nice and tight. Crisscross over, and usually that's plenty. Go. Okay, now we're ready to begin lacing up the tabla. First, put on your good gloves, protect the fingers, the hands. Now take the end. With the Bombay strap, you'll notice there's ridges on one side of it and it's flat on the other. You want to make sure those ridges are facing in towards the center of the tabla from a standpoint of coming over the ring in the top. The reason for this is if they're facing out, they can cut through the braid and the drum itself as you're lacing it up, and they can ruin the head, and you have to start over and then buy a new head. So, okay, starting with the ridges facing in, go down into the head, over the ring at the bottom. So we came down into the head. Now we're going to go over the ring at the bottom, and this is very important to keep this weaving pattern as you go throughout the time. So it's coming from the top of the drum, over the ring at the bottom, out from underneath, and then it's going to come back up and go over the ring and into the drum at the top. The space between the laces is generally 3 holes, or there's 2 holes, and on the third one you want to put the thing through. Generally the heads have open holes. Sometimes they're not as open. If they're not open, you want to count and make sure you have enough so that you can get 16 evenly through. Generally with 2 missing and then straight into the next one, and the third one. With bias, sometimes you have 3 spaces in between there, sometimes it's 2. So you want to make sure you're aware of that before you get started. Now, once we've gone over and back into the head there, this is not going to get a twist in it, so we can pull our slack through. I usually pull 2/3 through going this way, and then I'll do the last third in the other direction. Some people will choose to just tie it off here and pull it all the way through in one space. This way I don't have to work with the whole strap at the same time. Next, you want to pull about 2 feet past your head, just enough to go over the ring at the bottom and then back up into the head again. And the reason you only pull 2 feet through is so that you don't have to look for twists with the whole strap the whole time. So you just always only work with 2 feet ahead of your last hole, and then catch up with the strap after you've done that. Repeat again. 2 feet over the ring, and then over the head. So we're going over and over on each one. Now you need to make sure that pattern is repeated. If you mess that up, then you have to unlace the whole thing and start over again. So catch up the slack. During this process, you don't want to pull your strap tight. That'll pull the head off center and it'll pull the ring off center. So leave everything a little slack. Over. Over. As you do this, try to place your where the strap comes together at the bottom, right in between the two holes, so that you have a straight line with a V coming up here, rather than off to one side like this or the other, and that'll make it easier in the end to keep everything lined up. If this becomes too tight for you to pull with your fingers, you can use your pliers and just yank that through. Use your screwdriver to pry the ring over and make space for your strap to get underneath it. And we're on a strap going in this direction.